Here is Al Strachan of the Toronto Sun. John Davidson's in New York. And Jim Hughson in Vancouver. What do you think of the trade deadline?
Not very much, quite honestly, and I'm glad it's over. Hope the program's not any shorter tonight because we can't throw out any trade rumors. I thought it got pretty silly, actually, the rumors that were flying around. If 10% of the rumored deals had taken place, 90% of the players in this league would have changed teams. The rumors were so crazy as we came up to trading deadline that I don't think any of them could have even remotely happened, that they were just being pulled out of thin air. And I think now with the internet, everybody's exchanging ideas all over the place. And what happened, it seemed to me, was that a whole bunch of credible journalists and reporters lowered themselves to a competition to see who could have the craziest deals. And I don't think most of them were going to happen. So you want to get rid of that? Move the trading deadline up. Teams know by Christmas time or early January what their needs are. Make them make their deals, and at a time of year when the hockey should be great and the playoff competition is at its hottest, we could concentrate on hockey instead of all of the other stuff that tends to be pretty distracting.
No, they're not always rumors. They are stories. They are stories of fact. And when you have a situation where you've got a general manager who's trying to get this player, and this player, sure, there are a lot of names out there, and then because he gets the one player, he doesn't want all the other guys anymore. I would defend that they are not rumors. They are statements of fact of who is on the trading block and who is talking to whom. And simply because the trades don't come off doesn't mean they were rumors.
That's the radio guy talking to the newspaper guy. Can I be a TV? I had one rumor that didn't happen. I'm not sure. I had one rumor that didn't happen, and that was Duchesne leaving Ottawa to go to St. Louis. Yes, I was wrong on it, but I would like to say that one of the reasons why St. Louis did not acquire Duchesne was the fact that St. Louis, in acquiring a salary, whether it be this year or next year, didn't want to go over $100,000 above the salaries that they were trading away. They're trying to be very budget conscious, and that's one of the reasons why that didn't happen. Some of the stories, Al, you got to admit, were pretty crazy.
Which one?
You know, well, I read one newspaper story that had 23 different names in it. It was just like throwing them all against the wall, hoping that something would stick.
You're right, Al. There were probably 23 names out there. You know, when I started at Hockey Night in Canada, we weren't allowed to do it. That was considered taboo because you were messing with someone's life, and you were putting it on national television, and friends of the family and everybody'd phone. But it's a sign of the times. It's now business, and everybody's gotten involved. We tend to depersonalize the whole sport. When a player's not going well, it's because of the money he makes that we attach first.
Yeah, that's right. It's what it is, Ron. It's the money thing. And a lot of times when you wait till the deadline, the way it is now, March 18th or 20th, whatever it was, it's a situation where teams at that point start to build for next year, so they dump players that have big salaries. And teams that acquire that player, they don't have much left of the salary to pay. And a perfect example would be Larry Murphy going to Detroit. That's not a big salary the rest of the year.
Which was a story that was out there as well. We kept saying Larry Murphy was going to Detroit, and then some people said that's a rumor. It's not a rumor. When Kirk Muller is out there saying there are 5 teams interested, and you mentioned the other guys, they can't all go.
And like you said,
doubtless there were some legitimate stories about players moving. I just think that it takes on a life of its own. And it snowballs to the point where it becomes a little bit ridiculous. Here's the other thing, though. You move the trading deadline up, and I think you really legitimize the regular season. Too many players and too many people in the National Hockey League have for years lived by this credo that it doesn't matter what happens in the regular season, we'll be ready for the playoffs. And it's high time that that attitude changed in the National Hockey League because people are paying far too much to sit in the seats in the regular season. It should be showtime all year long. Force the teams to make their deals early, and they have to put their best show on the ice all season.
Of course, where you were, they weren't ready for the regular season or the playoffs. So.
Hey, Al, just before we go to the break here, and you did report, I think Gretzky was on the block at one point, and it did happen. So let's just deal with a city that might be on the block, and then we'll go to break.
Yeah, just very quickly, the Hartford players have been told, don't plan on being in Hartford next year. Columbus.
John Davidson will be Wink Martindale when we come back for a little quiz and talk about Rule 78 next.
After 40 minutes, brought to you by Chrysler Canada and its local dealers.
All right, Jim, Al, and I are really excited for you. Wink, go ahead.
Oh, Wink? What do you mean Wink? You call me Wink? Well, how about John Davidson? Didn't he have a talk show somewhere? I don't know.
Hollywood Squares, yes.
Let's try and figure this thing out, the in-the-crease stuff. If Russ Courtnall of the Rangers is skating through the goal crease and Mark Messier is in the slot for the Rangers, he shoots the puck. Courtnall goes through the side of the goal crease and is still in the crease when the puck comes into the goal crease. Courtnall vacates the goal crease. The puck goes over the goal line. In other words, the Messier shot goes in. Is that a goal or no goal?
No, not
no goal.
It's a goal if Courtnall puts it in.
But it's a goal if Courtnall puts it in. No, you're wrong there.
No, because he's in the crease before the puck gets there. He can't be in the crease when the puck gets there and have a goal scored.
Courtnall preceded the puck into the goal crease. Even if Courtnall vacated the goal crease before the puck went over the line, it's still no goal. Next question.
John,
what? Go ahead.
One but. If the goaltender stopped Messier's shot, Russ cleared the crease, came back in. Once the puck's in, you're allowed
Cleared the crease, yes, absolutely. If he cleared the crease
let's
and
have
came
crease
back
rules
in.
for 200 now.
That's a later question.
Second one, the red line on top of the goal crease. You think of the blue line, you think of the center ice red line. The goal crease on top of the semicircle is red. If Mark Messier's skate is on top of that goal crease, and on the other side of the net, the goal is put in, the puck is put in by Brian Leach, is it a Ranger goal or not?
No goal.
The thing counts as part of the crease. You can't be on it at all.
Red line is part of the crease, that's exactly right. But not very many people knew that, because when you compare it to the blue line...
in baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the blue line, the puck's got to go all the way over. Red line of the goal crease is part of the goal crease itself. Third question. If Felix Potvin is playing goal, and he's playing at his end of the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Vinny Domfus of Montreal is standing in the crease, and let's say that Potvin's defense, one of his defensemen on the left side is Jamie McCowan. And Jamie McCowan got the puck and went to clear it, and he hit his defense partner, Jason Smith, on the other side, and the puck carried him back into the net behind Felix Potvin, even though Domfus is in the crease. Goal or no goal?
No goal.
No goal?
Right.
No goal.
It's a goal. It is a goal. It is a goal because the only way that
I
thing
didn't know. I just guessed.
The only way it's stopped is if there's interference by the man in the crease with the goaltender. Then it's no goal, and it will be an interference penalty.
Well, finally, an instance where they say no harm, no foul. Why don't they do that when the offensive player shoots it in? It would make a lot more sense than the way it is now.
See, the big problem, though, with this whole rule is when you go upstairs. What they've been having lately is that the referees are refusing to go upstairs because a lot of the referees, frankly, don't like the video goal judges. A lot of the video goal judges are guys who couldn't be referees, and so they're saying, we were referees, and we're not going to ask you people. They got to clear that up a bit. That's the big failing right now. And next year, the goal judge will be able to call down. But right now, they can't. And so you're having situations where the guy is in the crease, but the referee won't ask for a clarification.
No, I don't think, Al, any referee... I think a referee's delighted to be off the hook on that call.
No, I've seen it, and I don't want to name the referees, but there's been a couple of cases in the last week where that has happened, and they will not go up.
Too many times, I think you're right, Ron, that the referee wants off the hook. He could say, look at it and say, there was interference there, the guy was pushed into the crease, but I'm going to go upstairs. And then the guy upstairs can only tell him that, yes, the player was in the crease. Yeah. He has nothing to do with the decision as to whether or not there was interference. I think the simplest way to do it, there's judgment calls all over the National Hockey League. Let the referee look at it. Let him come back and say, basically, yes, Vincent Damphousse was in the crease. He had nothing to do with the goal, though, so it stands.
Basically, it's what we're getting at here is it's a very complicated issue. Brian Burke is going to have a conference call with all the referees on Monday to try and really get everybody on the right line, going down the stretch and getting ready for the playoffs. Scotty Bowman said last night, maybe for next year, and this is just a thought, and there's nothing wrong with thoughts. Get a television monitor into the penalty box. If there's a controversial call, have them send down the best three looks at it, have the referee look at it himself, make the call, goal or no goal, and on they go.
Yeah, but they won't do that. And every time there is a goal reviewed, the tape goes to the league office, and the league reviews it. If the guy has made the wrong call, the video goal judge, he gets reamed out. And they're very concerned about these charges of homers, which I myself have made on occasion. They say that is not the case. These guys are league employees. They're not employed by the team, and they are trained by the league, and that's who they're going to work for. But in the playoffs, they're all going to be supervised. You see, they're not going to bring in guys from outside. The supervisor will be there.
All I know is when the Leafs are involved with a couple one way or the other, it sure gets a lot more attention.
Yeah, bottom line is we can't have the Stanley Cup decided because some guy's toenail is in the crease.
And, John, the Leafs were one of the first teams to be in a situation where it might have playoff ramifications, whether or not they even get in. So that's probably what you'll see a little more of in this final 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes or no? No or yes? I'll tell you one thing. I feel like Homer after this installment of After 40 Minutes.
After 40 Minutes. Brought to you by Chrysler Canada and its local dealers.